It's a little dramatic, but in a really good way.
Welcome to The Story Thinker, a Webtoons and Witcher podcast for superfans with scene-by-scene analysis. Featuring sharp co-hosts for a fuller picture, we dive deep into character psychology, relationships, and theories. We'd love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, and rate us on all podcast platforms and social media. For bonus content, you can support The Story Thinker on Patreon. Let's begin.
Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 142 of Purple Hyacinth, Waning Worries, and we are with Lily and Bundin.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, and we are super excited about this episode.
Oh my God. We were just talking about how we were starving for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 because it's been, how many weeks did we say?
6.
A month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
That's starving.
Mm-hmm. And I've been looking forward to this episode especially because I began to watch some of the streams. Like me and Lily would talk about them.
Oh my God, we were messaging on Instagram back and forth. Yeah, we text each other screenshots. What's going on?
Oh, you're working. I got you. I'll send screenshots of it.
Oh yeah. No, we're total stream buddies.
Yeah, that's been fun.
Got each other's back. It's so good. I know I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah.
Yes, and I will say, you guys told me a little bit about it. I was like, no, I don't want to be spoiled. I
know.
Try it.
Sometimes you don't, Mindy. Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't.
I know. Sometimes I work, believe it or not. But I used to work from home, and by the way, I watched the streams were on my background when I worked from home, and I did not get so much work done. Let me just say. So
running in the background is one of my tabs a lot of times, and so in between clients and stuff, I'll go.
Yeah, I'll keep it tabbed and muted, and then once I finish up my work, I'll hop back on and check updates because a lot of times it's not a lot happening. You can kind of
especially when she's working on the same panel for an hour or something.
Yeah.
Nope. Well, yeah, I don't think my work would be very happy if I put it on my screen even for a second. They're pretty.
Yeah, they don't want you to have shirtless Kieran
exactly
on the background of your screen.
No.
Well.
You're missing out. I know.
It's okay. We'll keep you updated.
All right. So we started out and we have our watermelon in the hospital. So you're like, yep, there we go. As we said, we were fooled into thinking this was going to be exclusively a Kim episode. And
we got the good old bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
but we still love her. And it was so funny because I don't know if you guys noticed this as well. When the episode first came out, it was a Kim picture in the little icon thing.
It was?
Yeah, it was. It was Kim in the hospital. So I was like, oh, is this again? It's not
an icon was Kim before it was Kieran?
It was Kim before it was Kieran. Yes, I noticed.
Why did they switch that?
I don't know, but I also thought I was like, wait, did I just make this up? And then on Soph's story, when she posts all the reactions, it was like Kim.
Oh yeah.
Kieran. So I was like,
oh my God, I did not even. That's how much I pay attention. I mean,
that's just something I noticed. Also, when I clicked out of the episode, I saw it switch from Kim to Kieran. So I was like,
do you think that they do that to try to get more people to fast pass because they know that'll be lucky?
Yes. I think also, I mean, that could be it. That I feel like a significant portion of readers are invested in that, but I also think that maybe it's just a way to better show what the episode involves, because Kim is proportionally only in this episode, I want to say, for the beginning, fifth of it. Most of this is just a 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 episode, so it would feel a bit like it's lying if it just kept her, maybe. Or maybe that's what they think. I feel like they maybe, because I don't even think Soph and F get to pick the icon. I think that's just kind of picked by
really?
I don't know. Or maybe they've begun to do that. I feel like I heard something about how it was just kind of random, but I've been noticing a lot of webtoons that have been coming out. They'll change the icons. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 just started to come out again on Saturday. And the ones that they had for their icons for each episode changed during the update. So
interesting.
By the way, I actually started reading 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 because of what you said last podcast. You recommended.
So, I got it. Okay.
I read the first
episode.
episode.
On my list. Since you said it too, I got to add it to the list. I have so many to read. It's
126 episodes. Wow.
There's a backlog.
There's always a backlog.
There's always
And I started When JC Whistles, which a lot of people have been telling me to read also.
I have to
So,
check that one
I'm
out.
very proud. It's like
I haven't heard
it's
of
like
that
a
one.
webtoon accomplishment. I started 2 new series this week.
I know now that in the Bleak Midwinter's on a little bit of a hiatus again.
Oh yeah, true. I had to stop fast passing that because of my coins, and
Aw.
like this week was supposed to be the week that it started back, and they're like 2 more weeks. I was
I
like,
know. Oh my gosh.
Well, you know what? It gives me more time to put up the episodes that I recorded with Emily Evans, and I'm so excited about it. But I didn't put it up because I've been horribly busy.
There you go.
Wait, what?
Yes, I recorded episodes with Emily Evans, who does music for her. She's Insomniac, I think her name is. She does dubs. She does Purple Hyacinth dubs.
I was just about to say, I was like, I know that name.
Yeah,
she does the
that's
Purple
her.
Hyacinth does.
Oh, yeah, I know her. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, it was
doesn't
great.
she play Lauren?
She plays I don't know. She's musically.
I thought she was Kim, right? I don't know. And I
Yes,
think she's
she
also
plays-
a mod on the In Bleak Midwinter server
Probably.
on Discord. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look this up. I could have sworn I thought she was Lauren's voice on the 𝗪𝗁𝗃𝗃
Kim's
dubs.
voice, and she also does Anya's voice on the In the Bleak Winter dubs. And she organizes all the dubs. Like she does the whole thing. It's so cool.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my god, I can't wait, Mindy. That's gonna be so
Yeah,
sick.
they're really good. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Okay, all right, let's move on.
Get back.
Back to the episode.
Yes, so now that we are actually in the panels, she's eating watermelon, of course, and reading a letter that says, "My heart aches without your cheerfulness. Get well soon. With love, Grumpy Cat." Which, of course, is exactly what he would say.
100%.
Yeah, she's laughing her head off, and now we see Lauren is over there, and she has a sweet smile on her face. But unfortunately, Kim is coughing. She turns her laughter into coughing, and Lauren's concerned. "Are you okay?" "Yeah, don't worry, it's nothing. So much for lecturing me about almost dying in front of your eyes." We pointed out.
No, I was about to say we all pointed that out, so I'm glad that they're acknowledging it.
Yeah, same. Little wink.
Right. And she continues eating, and she says in red, "Look, I had to even up the score. It was all planned from the start." Which, by the way, is a departure from Purple Hyacinth red coding, because sarcasm before has not been red, at least for Kieran.
Yeah.
True, I know.
That-
But it's weird because sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't, but mostly it hasn't been. But remember oh my gosh, is it 34, 35? It's right before Nettlesome Nurse, where he says, he lies, he's like, "Oh, Flemings was coming to propose to you with a pink dress," or
Right.
whatever. And that was in red at that, in that episode.
Okay.
I
Well,
think
clearly-
maybe it depends on like your tone, like how you say it, like if how deeply do you intend for it to sound like sarcasm, maybe. Which I guess there is like that line between like just saying something that's false and like leaning it more into the sarcasm. So maybe that's it, or maybe it's just fun to show a little lie sometimes.
I loved how much red was in this episode.
Same. We haven't seen.
I feel like I'm always looking for it. Like every single episode, I feel like I'm looking for the red,
Mm-hmm.
and it just like between the red and the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, we were fed.
That's funny. I never thought of red as like, I don't know, something that would make me feel good inside, but okay. Like Lucky does.
It's such an important plot point that I like to see it.
I just
Still
like when
be
it comes
involved.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I do
It like makes your brain work just a little bit harder reading the episode because you're just trying to find the meaning behind everything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
true. Makes us detectives. We can all work for the ADP.
Mhm.
They don't want me.
No.
I'm very unfit. I don't think I'd be a good officer.
I'm not detail oriented. I'm not detail oriented enough.
Oh, that's what I do all day. I'm about to make a joke about my work, but anyway. And Laura's like, "Haha, I guess it is. I'm glad you're doing better, Kim." She says very sweetly. And she said, Kim smiled. "Yes, me too. Our adventure is not over yet." Aww.
So
Love
we know Kim is not going to die anytime soon.
Well, that's what she says.
If ever.
Well, I kind
I
of
don't think they'll kill her off.
Yeah, me neither. We've seen them walk to the edge and walk back too many times. I have no faith anymore.
No.
Someone's dying.
No.
Well,
Nobody.
one person, he is going to die. That's pretty much all we know for sure. But other than that, like, I don't expect much.
I mean,
Or at
unless
least
somebody that's already dead.
Huh?
Or it's someone that
okay.
Mayra believes is
Like
dead.
if he's talking, like if she's talking
Dylan.
about Dylan or somebody in. Oh no, did I lose you guys?
No, we
okay.
still see you. Oh,
Oh,
no,
there you
did
go,
you not
sorry.
see- Okay.
No, accidentally clicked out. I was like, I thought I lost you guys. What was I
Dylan.
saying?
If he's talking, if Nera's
Oh
talking-
yeah, no, like unless she's talking about somebody who's already dead, which I don't think is the case unless she's saying like she's talking about Dylan or Mr. Rosenthal or somebody else like who's been dead and she's just confirming that they're dead.
Maybe, but
Mm.
I still get the feeling it's going to be one of the uncles. Maybe just because
Oh no!
I don't want
It has
it.
to be Redcliff.
I don't
It's
want it.
Dakin. It's Dakin. I'm
It's like she
calling
knows
it now.
them.
I'm
No.
putting money on it. It's
Mm.
Dakin.
No, I want to
Doesn't
go
want- Minnie doesn't want to
tonight
hear it.
without nightmares.
I don't know. I choose not to think.
Thank you. Me too.
Not to
Death
think.
has had such low stakes so far in this series. Nobody's died. Like we've had so many
No.
takeouts. Like somebody has to die.
No, yeah, actually.
I
And
know.
I
And
refuse
don't
for it
think
to be
any of the
Kieran.
core four will. So we need somebody important to die that's not Redcliff because we know Redcliff is probably going
And
to be.
it's not going to
off and
be Lucas because they already had him with his near-death thing. To kill
yeah,
him again
and
would
it's not
be
going to
like
be Kim, and
redundant.
it's not going to be Lauren, and I don't think they're going to kill off Kieran. They got to kill
Will
off.
could be it's probably the most likely of the four, but I don't think they will just because there's a lot of internal plot things going on.
What if it's Albion?
Oh,
I
that
already
he's dead?
said he could be dead.
No,
Did
he's
you already
your
say
cat.
that one of the actors already died?
Yeah, but they didn't
Yeah,
say
we don't
who.
know what his real name is.
But
They were not
Nayra's going to
clear.
go to the cave to talk about Albion.
No, they're talking about something else. It just happened to come up, okay? No, I don't want it to be Albion either. Whatever. It has to be.
I will
Okay.
take him over one of the characters I know and love.
But he is the character we know and love.
Oh, maybe it's okay. He's gonna be the new MC in the future of a webtoon. We're gonna just have to
Amen.
hold on to that.
Yes.
Keep that close
I
to
love
your
how we
heart.
just bring up Albion every single episode.
He must
I
be
should get a coin jar every time Mindy and Lily bring this man up.
How many episodes has it been since the opera arc?
Never too many episodes. His name will never be forgotten.
20 episodes.
I don't care if there's ever Albion merchandise, even though I don't buy merchandise, I will buy Albion
Yeah,
merchandise.
so for a t-shirt.
Yes. I
God.
will carve his name myself.
That's not even his real name.
It's
I know.
his name, okay? It's really cool. I'm sure he likes it better.
It is a cool name. It's
His name's probably Frank or something. Albion's way better.
Oh my god, no, his name can't be Frank. He's too
Exactly. That's why it's Albion.
Okay, fine. It's Albion.
Okay. All right. Back to the comic. Yes. Okay. So the adventure's not over. That's how we got here. And Kim thanks her for the watermelons and the card. And she said, "I'm sure Randall didn't give his consent for this, but it's hilarious." No need to mention it to him. I love her face.
Me too.
Oh, it's really cute.
It's almost like a third wall break, like looking, fourth wall break, looking at us.
Mhm. And
I
she-
also, sorry, I just wanted to say that I really like the expressions. Like we've been talking about how Soph's expression game has been on point recently. And I feel like even the faces that aren't as detailed, like Lauren saying that she's glad that Kim is doing better, like, I don't know, you could just feel the sincerity of a lot of these expressions and like the core of what they are. And it really just hits. And I like seeing it. It's nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think you are right. I didn't like pay such attention, but now that you mentioned it, like subconsciously, I did notice it. So I am impressed with that observation. And she, Kim asks, "How's your arm?" And she's like, "Oh, still aching a little, but mostly okay." Looking at her shoulder, and she's like, "I can't believe I'm stuck here while you're out there getting all the action. You're in worse shape than me. That's unfair. You're back to working with March." And she's like, "Yes." I'm so happy for her that she is. And she's like, "Stay put and get better, Kim. You won't get fired when you're not even able to finish your sentences without being out of breath." Oh. And
Poor
then,
Kim is recovering.
yeah, so, oh well, so much for, I thought she was like more back to normal from last episode, but guess not.
I mean, yeah, it's like probably a poisoning, you know, your body probably takes a long time to recover. She's still coughing and stuff. And then even Lauren, her injury, she's still dealing with it. Then she got shot. So it's definitely a lot more like physical healing there. But yeah, glad to like see that they're acknowledging that the healing process can take a long time with like these injuries and stuff. So it's not just like I was in the hospital and now I'm 100%.
Right.
So
Doesn't work like that. Am I the only one that is reading way too much into them bringing up her arm all the time?
no, I thought of that as well. You know, I'm like, they're trying to remind us that her arm
They
is
keep
not
bringing it up.
good.
I feel like something's gonna happen. I don't know what. I know there was that random theory in the Discord where like Lauren loses her arm, and I hope that's not the case. That
Oh
would be
yeah.
awful. But I don't know. Like, I feel like there's just something. Knowing Soph and F and how they like, there's really nothing that's ever put in there that's not some kind of foreshadowing or meaning, or I feel like it's trying to tell us something and I don't know what.
I feel like maybe they're trying to indicate that maybe in like whatever happens in the finale, is it going to be the ball, whatever it is, Lauren may not be as 100% to deal with that as she would like. Because it's only about a month after, yeah, it was about 1 month
Yeah, it's
after
only
the
been
whole
about
thing.
a month. Yeah.
Because that's when the flash forward is with Nayra.
Something's gonna happen. I feel like she's gonna need to do something major and she's gonna fail because of her arm.
Or maybe her arm will be like a giveaway that she's Loon, because they know that she got shot, I'm pretty sure, because Kim and Will noticed it in the factory, so maybe the Phantom Scythe did as well. So
that's a good point. I was thinking like she would have to do something like with that arm, like grab something, or she's holding onto something and like something happens where that's the crux of.
maybe.
I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see. I could be totally wrong. I'm wrong all the time, but I feel like they're bringing it up for a reason.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it, but we'll see, I guess.
I'm just so trained on like everything is gonna mean something. Like
I know. We'll remember those panels of like Cooper rubbing his neck, and we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Or like the Kim doing CPR without the gloves on.
Yeah.
Like
I know. It's like it means something. I don't know.
what does it mean?
So Kim looks aside and says, I know a certain lieutenant that wouldn't mind me not talking so much. And I will just say the fact that she raises it means she wants to bring up the topic. I'm pretty sure, like I can detect this as someone who has done this myself. If like you're interested in talking about your crush, you just somehow find a way to bring him up, and then you just start the conversation. Like I feel like she's bringing Will up on purpose because
she wants some girl talk with her best friend.
Exactly. You know, she just had a very, I think, intense encounter with Will, and I think she's starting to see him in a new light, and she wants to, you know, talk about it.
Oh, for sure, she's processing that.
Oh yeah.
Verbally
at the very least on a subconscious level, right? Like it's been on her mind. It's like she's probably bored out of her mind in the hospital as well. So this has been the only big thing, and it's probably just like reshaping her entire perception of him. So I like that she's like bringing it up a little bit. And then Lauren, #1 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗏 shipper, is like, you know, despite being on your ass, Will really cares for you. And it's like, I feel like before that moment with Will in the library, Kim would have been like, yeah, he does, like, because she knows that, but it wouldn't feel like how it feels right now after seeing our beautiful blonde boy in the beautiful golden light of this beautiful place.
The lighting in that episode. I feel like also before this moment, Kim would have said something kind of like flippant about Will. Like, exactly. Like made a joke, and she's like, yeah, no, he's, you know, as she says, she's like, yeah, he's a super good friend. Friend.
Friend, she takes a while to say that.
I know, there's a pause there.
Do you guys remember like the debate about which couple would end up like acknowledging feelings first?
I was betting 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 because there was zero development with Kiwi. I thought 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 was miles ahead.
You know, I feel like the consensus was that maybe 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 would like have it come up first, but it'll take longer for them to get together. But then Kiwi might just end up getting together just because they've got less drama between them. And but I don't know, they're looking like they're
way less getting in Kiwi's way.
Exactly.
Like there's absolutely no reason for them
not to be together.
To not be together.
Except their own personal dynamic that they're kind of like, oh, I can't like them. That's Kim. That's Will.
That's
but
like
then-
their own personal thing. Yeah. I mean, like
Exactly.
they're not trying to, yeah, like Kieran is supposed to be, he has a secret identity.
and he's
Well,
an
there's
assassin.
Will's dad. So
I mean, that's true.
that, I mean, Will, you have to stand up against him.
Can't wait for Will to put his foot down in front of his dad. It's going to be such a good character
Oh
moment.
my God. Can't wait. It better happen.
Mhm.
I think
Will.
that would be part of Will's character development.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was Will Rath and their dad for that whole thing? What if it's something to do with like his mom dying or something, or like she's about
Oh,
to
and then
die
like
and then Raphael
back
comes
from the
home
funeral or something, and then all of them are together.
somehow. Like he tries to like be unnoticed, but then he does get noticed.
Oh,
and then...
wait, do you remember how we talked about how we, we have that theory that Stefan is apostle or, and how we couldn't decide if Raphael knew that he was in the PS and vice versa, like if he knew that Raphael was also in it. I feel like it's that Spider-Man meme where they would all be there and they're like,
Yeah.
all three of them,
Yeah.
Will and Raphael. Wait, you're also in the PS? Wait, what?
Drama all
Yeah.
around.
It's like, I thought you were. And then Will's like, am I the only one who's actually not?
He's the only one that didn't get the invite.
And then Lauren, who was like invited for like whatever reason to like hear the lies because she's doing Will a solid, is just there like, yeah, you and I definitely don't collaborate with the Phantom Scythe in any way whatsoever.
Ever.
Oh dear.
I guess we'll see if that dynamic happens.
Would be good.
So Kim has this little smile on her face as she remembers and how he was there through it all. And she remembers the factory as he, was there in the pouring rain with this expression of concern, in the hospital, the hugging.
God, again, the panel of Will in the library being like, the almighty lieutenant needs his trusty sergeant. It's like, yes, you do.
Oh, the lighting.
Also,
good.
he looks so fine. Oh my God.
It's the rolled up sleeves.
I know, and the suspended.
Oh yes, no, it's the rolled up sleeves.
And like the open tie.
Open tie.
No, it's just like the little bit of the collarbone, the rolled up sleeve. It's like the male equivalent of like a corset and stockings. It's just the outfit.
And also it's just him being authentically himself, not attempting to be perfect or anything. It's just him relaxed and wanting to spend time with her. Also the fact that he spent so much time in the hospital while she was recovering, to the point that her parents know him really well now, which I love.
That little tiny comic at the end of that, the little black and white one, that's canon. Like it's just confirming that they're going to get together and get married. And Kim's parents are completely
and they're going to give him twice the amount of love and affection to make up for the lack of it on his side.
Baby.
Amen. Whew, so nice. So she now looks up at Lauren and says, I also never got to thank you for saving my life that night on the roof. Oh my God, back when probably Raphael knocked her off.
I would imagine that conversation for Will and Raphael.
I know, how we've talked about how we think Raphael's gonna like kidnap Lauren or hold her hostage or something. I would just love for them to like hash it out and she'd be like, you're the one that did that to my freaking arm, you asshole.
You're the one who yeeted my friend off a roof.
God almighty.
And then Will's just there like, you threw my future wife off of the roof. Like,
that family has a lot to sort out.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine their holiday dinners. Woo.
and bringing me to the hospital when I collapsed in the park. And Lauren's like, that's right. That settles the score to Lauren 2, Kim 1, doesn't it? Love her face also. I was like,
I know, I love how we've had so many different facial expressions that we don't know.
Yeah. New
expression game on point from Soph.
Yes, really, very much. And she's like, shut up, haha. And then they're tussling and very nice. And then we have our little Hyacinth. And then guess what? We switch. We're nodding Kiwi. How do we say Lauren and Kim together?
Let's
𝗪𝗏𝗡,
yeah.
Okay.
𝗪𝗏𝗡.
So no more 𝗪𝗏𝗡. We are in the APD, and music just came on, and because I forgot to turn it off. So yes, good music. And we are in Detective March's office, it seems. Lauren is looking at a murder board and thinking to herself, I'm fairly certain Green was the target. We have Morgan's picture there. Yet her murder is so random. The killer was careful. There were footprints, fingerprints, foot traces, never seen by the crew. I love how, as she's talking about foot traces, the panels of her foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that a lot. Just fun little details.
And it's, you know, it's good to obviously like shift around different perspectives, like camera perspective, but this is just like a nice tie-in. And his choice of poison was clever. I'm like, his choice? I'm just saying, you know, we've got
Yeah, no, I noticed that as well. As like,
I know, I'm like, so it's he.
a woman.
Or Lauren is not gonna realize who it is because she thinks it's a he. Well, we don't think it's Bella anyway, but
No.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Will I mean she should be open to, you know, any killer. Doesn't leave stains, no smell, and it allowed him to not be anywhere near Green upon her death. 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗃 kiss could have been applied any time between the last rehearsal and the premiere. Impossible to pinpoint exactly who had access to her costume during that time, since it was stored with everyone else's. But why did the killer go to such meticulous lengths to get rid of her? And we see someone walking down the hallway. It is our dear boy Kieran looking in at her from the office. And we see his face. And I don't know, I just already am getting sympathy in my heart just from seeing his face.
He looks so serious. He looks so serious, and
He knows what he's gonna have to do.
Yeah, last time we saw this man's face, he was in the middle of a mental breakdown over the fact that he will not let Lauren end up like
because of him. We've been waiting to see what he would do. We just didn't know it would be the first thing that he would do.
You know, and I don't really mind that I know we've been joking about it, we've been starving, and like, you know, we have, but also I recognize that the story has kind of expanded beyond just them. So I do really like all of the other chapters that we've gotten in between, because we got some of our other ship dynamics, some of the plot points, moving parts, Kiwi development, Darcy stuff, more of Redcliff and Raphael being the worst.
The worst.
It's kind of like so we kind of get this feeling that, like, I don't know if this is just me and like the fact that we've been waiting so long for this, but like I feel like that time kind of makes it feel like Kieran has kind of taken some time to think through what his next steps are. Like, you know, he's finally doing it, or like maybe even that he might be hesitant to have brought this up, because even though he's like, I need to do it, he's like, but I like it. I like spending time with her, like all this stuff. So I don't know, using like the fact that you need to focus on other things to kind of help support other plot points in that way. I don't know if I'm making sense with that, but yeah.
No, I get you. I feel like us focusing on other characters kind of helps like flesh out the timeline too. I feel like if everything was too chop with Lockie all the time, it's like the emotional intensity doesn't hit as much.
Yeah.
Get it back to back to back. You know, when
I like seeing all the other stuff too, where you need it. Like, we've established these things, and it's good to give them their due time. So now all the ships are just thriving, which is wonderful. All of us.
I know we always want Lockie every week, but it's like sometimes it's so nice to miss them, because when you get it, it's that much better.
Like, you can't have chocolate every day.
No.
Or can you?
Well, okay, I guess you can have chocolate every food that you eat.
Yeah. With every meal.
Maybe with it, you know, but all right, so she is continuing to think. It's also weird how Nira called murder so quickly that night, how she thought of poison before anyone else could tell. And she thinks back to her conversation with her where she asked if she wants to be a doctor. Why would a lady like her know about such things, daughter of a doctor or not? She remembers her reply, where she's like, oh no, that would be way too stressful. I want nothing more than a quiet, normal life. Lie.
No, you want to date a like sexy assassin and just vibe, which honestly I feel like Lauren can relate to.
It's like, same sis, same.
Gotcha.
And she's constantly pretending to be someone she's not. Question is, how far does that go? And she sees, it's hilarious because the next panel is a picture of Marsh and Annabelle and Rosie.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
Rosie. Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, what? Does Lauren suspect March? Really? What? Are we already getting there? And no, it wasn't there. But I think it would have been, I think it was a little bit of a thing for the audience, maybe. But I don't know. Did you guys ever think that one saw it?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw that, but I was like, yeah, they're doing the whole thing where she's like, oh, someone pretending they're being someone who they're not, how tragic. And then she looks at March, she's like, oh, his poor family. I'm just like,
You're not, but no, as the audience were like, he's definitely pretending to be somebody he's not. And then another thing that I thought was interesting was looking at that photo. I thought it was interesting that he still has that scar on his face.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought that scar, if he's involved in the PS and he's an apostle or the leader or whatever, I thought that scar maybe came later, like after he lost his family.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of like, you got a character and they've got a scar on their face or whatever, and it's just a scar that they got. Like, I feel like a lot of the things that I've consumed, like I'm big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. Zuko got the whole ice scar thing from his dad, and it's just like, oh, I have a backstory behind my blatant injury. Sometimes I kind of like the subversion of just a scar. Got it. 1 point. Just there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It just rolls out a theory that I had that it could be. Because remember, we had that flashback to the leader's memory where he said there was like that blade, like that blade with the initials.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a while ago. Wow.
Yeah, and it was like A, B, or we couldn't really figure it out because the lettering was so strange. It was like weird cursive.
What
It was a handle, you guys, or it was like a letter opener.
A. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought that was like the person who betrayed Snapdragon, right? Wasn't that? I can't remember. I need to reread that episode. Whatever episode that is.
Yeah, me too.
I remember this.
We had theories then, but I don't remember what the theories are anymore. I remember thinking that was Annabelle. That was something to do with A for Annabelle, but I don't know.
Yeah, I get the implication that she was involved in Snapdragon as well, and that's why she was killed.
So. I think so too.
She looks very cute here. She looks like such a sweetie.
What if she was the snitch?
Well, you know, right?
Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow, that's a little crazy. If March is the leader also.
Yeah, I mean, that could be her being like, listen, this stuff is not good with my family, and like I'm not, this is not a good thing for my husband to be dealing with. Do this, and then finds out. Well, he says in the flashback here that she fell into the bloody hands of criminals that have been plaguing 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 for too long, which I'm like, that is so vague.
I know.
Well, if you go back and read that episode, all of his wording is really vague.
Yes.
Yeah, that's because I think he knows about Lauren's ability, because he knew her from when she was a child, growing up, friends with her parents. I feel like the parents would have mentioned how their daughter's really good at telling when people lie, and he's just always known that, which is why we never see any moments of him lying to her about important things, or him kind of when he kind of implies that he knows that Lauren was Loon in that one scene with Herman.
Something. Yeah, I believe it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess the other line that we saw with him in the precinct when he said that they didn't have anybody on the inside, or that they had. Remember that line? They said they had somebody on the inside, or they didn't have somebody on the inside. But he was saying that to everyone. Not just
and I
Lauren.
think that he needs to, like, I think he knows that he needs to throw in some lies in there to, like, some things he says, he knows that it's like, whatever, like, of course they have like spies in the inside of the Phantom Scythe or whatever, right? Or like, he knows that him not lying at all might seem suspicious because everybody lies. So be normal about the things that he would normally lie about, but then be careful about the stuff that matters.
Well, everybody lies except for Kieran never lies until today, and then he lies.
I mean, he lies sometimes, but
almost never.
But I mean, obviously, like
when he does, it's like a joke. It's like it's like the random times it's sarcastic. I don't think Kieran has actually like told a lie to Lauren since 43.
Now I'm trying to remember. Didn't inspirational? I think he put together a lie count. Was that it?
It's on Reddit, I
Because he
think.
did
yeah.
have those lies in 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗃 83.
Mhm. Iconic episode.
Right.
I know, so iconic, but they weren't like directly to Lauren. They're like to everyone. He's like, oh yeah, I have a lot of friends.
Oh, you know what? He did lie when she asked after they got out of the explosion, why does he use a sword and not a gun? And he's like, it's like,
Oh yeah.
that. And then he's like, that's all. And that's all was a lie.
That's true.
But also, he's exhausted, been through a lot that night.
He barely ever lies.
He also knows that like she'll call him out on it, and he also is very good at kind of navigating it, which is why this episode is so fun, because he
doesn't even try at all.
So thrown off his game. He's so thrown off.
Oh boy. Yeah, when people are emotional, they make bad decisions. Hilarious. All right. So she remembers the cemetery where he says that my daughter Rosie, she would have been your age, You reminded me a lot of when I was visiting your parents when I was little. We worked together on thesis, 2 brilliant lawyers, really. And Annabelle, like I said before, she fell into the bloody hands of criminals plaguing our house for too long. Annabelle lay March, and once again, 98 to 𝗪𝗪𝗪.
And it covers the year she died.
Yep.
Interesting. I wonder why.
It must not be a plot point at all. I'm sure it's totally
not related to the Snapdragon whatsoever.
Nothing to do with that print shop or anything.
Nope.
PTSD. Yes, nothing. Plugging my laptop in.
As you're plugging it in, I'm just looking at your beautiful background.
I think I have screenshots of every panel.
I took a bunch of screenshots from this one, not every single one, because I am running out of storage on my phone. So only the ones that Martha added to the Purple Hyacinth album.
Yeah, so many good ones.
Mm-hmm. And she thinks to herself, pretending to be someone you're not. My parents weren't strangers to that. Being apostles, even with what happened to one of their closest friends. And there's their daughter, lying herself through an assassin. Quite ironic. She has this like demonic face.
I love her face right there. She looks evil.
I know.
I don't find she looks evil. She's just kind of like,
like she's almost like proud. It's like sassy. It's like, you're not. Yeah, working with it.
I think she's finally kind of understanding that even if they were apostles, they might not have stood for what the PS would become. And she's kind of like proud that she could follow in their footsteps in a way and kind of being a bit more gray, but for the purpose of bettering the city. And I kind of like that she's a little, I'm my parents' daughter doing the same thing.
Yeah. That's cute. And then we hear a whoosh by the door, and she looks around, all startled, sees no one by the door, and she's like, And then she hears another whoosh, and she's like, ah! And she dodges, and then she screeches on the floor, quickly grabs her gun, and points it at Kieran. This is the panel that you said before. They're like, there's some kind of argument because she points her gun at him.
Oh, yeah, we were trying to figure this out in stream.
Yeah, no.
We were freaking out. We're like, oh my God, they're fighting. What is happening?
I think we did figure out that he snuck up on her once they got to like the rendering part of it. But out of context, this entire conversation without words is so crazy to look at, because it's like
this is another one we were messaging back and forth, like, oh my God, the intensity of her face. They're fighting. What is he saying?
Oh, yep.
Oh, good.
And nice panel of them. And then snarky Kieran's like, her reflexes have gotten a little sluggish, detective. You didn't even notice me slipping into the room.
Got such a dad pose.
I mean, he looks like with the glasses and the outfit, he's kind of like a dad. Also, before I need to mention this, I like that both of them are a little bit like not disheveled, but they're a bit more relaxed in their outfits,
like not as crisp.
His collar is unbuttoned and his sleeves are rolled up, and her sleeves are rolled up, hers is unbuttoned, her tie is loose. She looks really good in this outfit, by the way. I just want to say I like the kind of more
like loose casual, like the looser tie. They look,
you could tell she's been there like all day trying to work on this. You could tell both of them have probably been there for like the entire day doing work. Yeah, and they're just
normally archivist Kieran is not my favorite Kieran because he looks like he works at a church or something. Like the collar is so high, the sleeves
he becomes super skinny too.
Yeah, but this one with the open collar and the rolled up sleeves, like, okay, sir.
And also like how Will was earlier when at the library, same thing where it's like they kind of see it more themselves and relaxed and in their like easy in a way, more authentic to who they are. So good. I like it. I like the vibes.
And Lauren's like whisper screaming, "Are you crazy? I could have shot you." And he's like, "Considering shooting before even recognizing your target, that's even worse than I thought." And she tucks her gun and goes to close the door. She's like, "Don't make me consider shooting despite recognizing the target."
You're looking at the floor and stuff. It's all good. But I love that it's the banter. I love the Locky banter so much. It's always so good.
It's top notch. It never disappoints.
I know, they're great. She closes the door. She's like, "Where have you been? I was looking for you." Which I find funny because it means that she was looking for him and he like made himself scarce, right, as per plan. But it's also like, "Oh, I was looking for you. It's so cute."
I would love if she was just looking for him just to like hang out too, like not for like anything with the case, just like,
where are you? I want to talk to you.
Let's chill. Let's get some coffee.
Go to that coffee shop where you first saw her.
Let's go get a pastry. The breakthrough.
Let's tease Lucas and Lila. We have not had Lula in so long. I need it. Like just a little bit.
Oh, it's been
really long. So if you could just a dash. I don't need much. Just a little bit. Just for me.
We'll get it. We'll get it eventually.
I know. But
and Kieran looks away from her because he's like doesn't want to tell her he's been avoiding her. And says, mostly looking for evidence incriminating Redcliff. Figure that you were busy and that if your uncle would need it, if ever attempting something against our circus master. And she's like so excited. She's like, "I talked to Tristan about our findings last night. We do need absolute proof before they attempt anything. They were this close to using his ball for the parlay." And she's like walking over to
She looks so cute. She's so excited.
Yeah. It's like, "Let's go to the cave to work on it. I just need to put away these files." And shuffling and she's smiling and she's so excited. And he said, "No."
I feel like I could just hear it in my head whenever I was reading this episode. Just the
because they made the font way bigger and it's a low.
Yes, it's so like it's just kind of jarring.
No.
Mm.
And she's just so excited to like work on it and all this stuff and he's like, "No." She's like, "What do you mean no?" Like,
what do you mean? You're telling me no?
Oh no, poor guy. And the next panel, it's like Kieran's face, but his eyes are hidden with his hair, and it's like the little boy, lost little boy look, and he's like so sad already. He's
trying to be Mr. Serious and like conceal, don't feel. Let them know.
I know. It's like it's better if we don't go with her. Besides, there's practically nobody in the precinct at this hour. We can talk here. I'll handle Redcliff. You got work to do here. Now, it's all true, right? There's nothing false, but it's sad that he feels the need to say this. He wants her to not protect her. And he's like, "It's your first case in forever. This may be your chance to earn your rank back," which he knows what to say to induce her, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
But also, I love the fact that it's true though, because I feel like he says later that he's no longer indifferent, but that's also just like he cares now, and he wants her. Like he's part of the reason why she's able to do this again, because he did the whole thing with Tim's sake, and he does want her to get her rank back, and I think he likes seeing how much she loves this sort of problem-solving detective stuff, and he can see that she really likes it as well. Now, obviously, he's using it as an excuse, but he just genuinely want her to have the life.
He cares about her. He wants her to have her rank back.
Yeah, and I just love that he's kind of using that, but also that just shows, oh, he cares he cares. And I think Lauren, after hearing this and then hearing the rest of what he has to say, that's how she's so easily able to put it together, because she sees that he's doing, like, you know, he cares, and that's it, he cares, and it's just good to see.
Love it. But here she looks like, I feel she looks betrayed right now. It's just like, what? Like, what happened? What's the sudden shift? We're partners.
This was the panel on stream we were trying to figure out. We're like, he just told her he killed Dylan. Like, what?
Oh, no. I was never on that. I was like, no, we gotta save that for a more emotional moment.
I was like, that's gonna happen if that is, it's gonna happen way later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be so horrible. And she's like, Kieran, we're talking about finally ambushing an apostle and avoiding another tragedy here. And she's like, that's the priority. He says, you've done enough already. It's not safe. That's true. Now, besides, there's nothing you can help me with from this point on. And that's a lie. Even he knows Lauren is helpful. Good for him. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm investigating in the underworld alone. And she just looks so hurt.
Another hurt face. She's just like perplexed too. She's just like, what the F is this guy going on about?
Yeah, she's like, we've been doing this for how many months? And you're telling me to stop.
What nonsense did you decide to start spewing today, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Kieran, what's up with you tonight? You're acting strange, which is good. I'm glad she called him out. He's like, I'm not stating facts.
Are you though, sir? The lies say otherwise.
I know, and like you said, he's so sloppy. Like, he knows better.
He didn't plan very well for this.
Yeah. No. I think also he hadn't anticipated how much her reaction would hurt him, or like how much her reaction would impact him.
That's because you in love.
Yeah, and at that, her eyes go wide, because she knows that Kieran knows that she can tell lies. So like, she's like, he's lying to me. I think that's like a major thing for her. She's first shocked, and then she looks livid. And then he says, truthfully, all of this is bigger than the both of us. Once the evidence is gathered, the matter should go into Dakin and the APD's hands. We've played vigilantes for long enough. Loon's finally dead. Your identity is somewhat safe, and it should remain that way. The longer we spend time together, the more dangerous it becomes for you and your friends. Which is all true. I'm glad that he's saying the truth. Right?
He's being straight up, which I'm glad that this avoided him like lying to protect her and misunderstandings and stuff. Like, no, he's been relatively straight up. Well, then he's not avoiding the whole how much he cares about her bit, but still, progress is progress.
Yes.
I mean, he says he's not indifferent. That's basically saying that he loves you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Almost.
Yeah, that's in a bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an amazing line. But yeah, he says, and she's so angry, and she's like, what? But Kieran, you know that. And he cuts her off with like, you know I'm right. We shouldn't be working together. And that's a lie.
Such a breakup line. We shouldn't be together.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. I can't risk you getting hurt because of me.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I love how he's like trying all of these things to get her to stop, but then it's the lies that kind of are indicating to her his true intentions, and she immediately calls him out on that. And I don't know about you guys, this episode really made me be like, oh, Lauren's so smart. I love seeing Lauren be smart. Like,
yes,
I love seeing Detective Lauren. I love it. She's just such a great female lead. I love her. She's my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Love her as well.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes we call Lauren, like, she's like, oh, she's acting dumb, or she's doing this, doing that. It's like, no, in this episode, she's through the bullshit and called it out.
She's brilliant, but she's emotional, or not emotional, more or a little
slightly impetuous.
She kind of
thinks sometimes before she acts,
impulsive.
Thank you, Bundin. That's the word. She can be a little impulsive and not really think things through.
Yeah. Like, look at this progress we have on our girl studying a thing and just.
I know. Look, yes, she's doing great. Keep it up, sweetie. You're doing great.
Yeah. And once again, when she hears his lie, again, her eyes are go wide, and then she gets angry. It's like the same sequence: lie, shock, anger. And now Kieran looks at her, and I love this expression because he looks at her and it's like anger, defiance, and desperation all at once. He's like, you have to stop because otherwise you're gonna get killed. He's like begging her with his eyes, like just believe me. It's just
listen to me.
I say.
Also, just like how much they know each other at this point, that they can see through to what they really mean when they speak to each other, right? I mean, Lauren has a bit of an advantage with her gift, obviously, but I don't know, just like seeing their familiarity with each other play out and be a thing in their interactions now. And it's just good to see that progression from where they were in the beginning to even like a few months before this in story to where they are now.
Yep. No, they know each other so much better now. Like they can just pick up on each other.
So close. And the fact that they honestly resolve this pretty quickly, it just shows how good the relationship has become. And he, looks at her with that like anguish in his eyes, and he turns away because he's uncomfortable, and he doesn't want to have to deny himself something that he loves.
But he also knows that any more scrutiny from her will cause him to crack.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, shit, she sees right through me.
And she looks like she's walking towards him. She's like, this isn't like you. Something's wrong. He's like, nothing's wrong. Yeah, and then he stops because he's like, yeah, this is not gonna work.
Not working.
He's like, I am not helping my case right now. How do I get her to stop this?
And like you see only his mouth stopping and like bitter, and then he says, it's time to call our deal off. Stabs it off.
No, break out with her.
I was so worried. After reading that. I'm like, oh God, is he trying to piss her off, push her away? Like, I cannot handle a locky breakup right now.
And no, it's like this mofo is really trying to break up with her right now. He's really trying to do it.
Awful. And then Lauren finally, she's like, you know I can hear lies. Why are you doing this? You're worried. You're spewing this nonsense because you're worried. Why? Did your apostle contact you, threaten you? And Kieran's not even looking at her. He doesn't want to have to acknowledge anything. But he looks at her in surprise and he's like, no. And she's like,
I love that she immediately thought of that though, because remember he's had the apostle on his back before, beat him right before season 2's finale. So yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good.
I think that's why he looks surprised, like he didn't even think of that being a reason.
It's like, oh yeah, of course some sort of external factor is going to make me more concerned about you. I mean, that makes sense, but
no, not my love for you at all. No.
Yeah. Just shows how in his head he's been about all of this. I like that.
Yeah, apostles. There's people that could threaten me. Yeah, that's it.
Someone could have
planned to break up a little better. He could have used the apostles. That's
no, but then she would have known he's lying. So.
Right.
Fair. I mean, he's already doing such a bad job anyways with the lying. So.
So, I mean, there you go.
Exactly. And she's like, then why? Why do you want to settle and distance yourself? He says, I told you why. And then he's searching for
you. It's me.
I know. He says, he's not even looking at her. He's like, we violated the terms of our deal multiple times, and I'm not indifferent to what happens to you or your friends anymore. Which is the most awkward way of saying I love you, but okay.
Ever. Oh my God. He said it. He said he loved her.
Yeah.
He's like, I care about you and your friends and the people here. But he's like, oh no, I'm not indifferent to you anymore. Which is like, smart words, Kieran. You really...
He did not plan this. It says he's searching for his words. He really didn't plan it.
I think he just would never, like, he could have done all the planning in the world. He would not have been prepared for seeing that look on her face and her being so persistent.
He has to know she would be.
I mean, he knows, like, theoretically, but then being in the situation, he's like, because he cares more than he thought he did, you know?
Oh boy. Like, we've been trying our luck for too long by working together. They'll try to hurt you or your friends if they find out. And the longer we collaborate, the higher the odds are that they'll eventually succeed. And he looked down and he looked so sad and so sad. Which, by the way, you know what I'm thinking he's thinking of? I think he's thinking of the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 at this moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the next thing he says after Lauren speaks right now, it like confirmed that in my mind.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, he's just thinking about what he's lost before and what he's been through, and he refuses to let that refuses to let himself even consider that happening to her.
No, poor guy. And she's like, I know, but those were the terms since the beginning. Yes, it's dangerous, but I was fully aware of the risks when I accepted the deal. Our work helped the APD. We even found the apostle. We can't stop now. Stopping now wouldn't protect anybody. Quite the contrary. And he says, you don't understand. You can't even grasp what they're able to do. It's not fair to your friends and you, and I can't.
I mean, he had to do something so terrible. I think he was forced to kill the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃.
Maybe. I feel like maybe the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃, because like the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 was the leverage they had over him, right? And like Bella even said that without the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 there, he should have left the organization. They had nothing keeping him there.
I know,
anymore.
but
So I
there's
think
there's that dream that he had of Lauren dying, and then you hear that voice that said, you failed, it was a test. But
I feel like maybe he had been put in a situation and then he had failed some sort of task and they hurt the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃, and then that maybe infection or something, he died, or whoever it was died. The theory is that it's Dylan, but like, you know, it might not be, we don't know, but still.
I still feel like it has to do with guns somehow. I feel like he must he shot the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃. Dylan, we think it's Dylan, but the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃. I think he shot him and didn't know it was him.
Oh yeah, maybe, or like they had him doing like target practice or something. And then
yeah, I mean, it could have been something like really screwed up, like they had a bunch of kids or whoever like just flipped around from the back and they're like,
or like hooded, like
hooded, and they're like, shoot, and then one of them ends up being him. I don't know, but I feel like it's probably
gonna be something messed up, and his explains many of his various complexes and his issues that he has. One thing I want to say before we move on as well is that I like that Lauren talking about like I agreed to this. I want to be involved. The work that we've done has been useful. That's kind of very similar to the conversation that Kim has with her in the park about how, yeah, I mean, you're trying to protect us, but like, we want to help. We want to do this. Like, you not protecting us doesn't really help anybody, right? So I kind of like the idea, and like having Kim at the beginning of the episode and stuff. I like the idea of she took Kim's words to heart, and or like I could see it maybe being hypocritical in a way, but I see it more as she took what Kim told her to heart and is applying it forward, basically. And
I don't think she'll change her things with Kim though. Like, I don't think she'll suddenly let them participate.
I mean, I feel like she would let them more participate now, but I mean, at least I would hope to, just because that would be very hypocritical of her to be like, I'm gonna do this. I don't care. I signed up for this, and then when Kim and Will try to be like involved, she's like, no.
I mean, Lauren is a little bit of a hypocrite sometimes, and that's something that makes her like a complex character too. She's not perfect. She is a little bit of a hypocrite sometimes. I mean, we all
but still, I feel like that would just be nice to see.
No, and it's also nice too with Lauren talking about like the bigger picture. It's like we're reminded, like we've had so much ship stuff lately with 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃. We've had so much personal content, like everything has been so, like I feel like we haven't had very much that's progressed the storyline as far as the finding the leader or the Phantom Scythe. A lot of the past couple episodes have been about, just the opera arc and furthering, the relationships. And so it's kind of nice to have that reminder of like, oh yeah, like these are the goals. This is what we're working towards.
Also, still waiting for Able Sandman to show up again and
Yes.
give
Oh
Lauren
my
the crucial
God.
information about
Yeah.
Green and what they were doing.
When
Still
is he
waiting.
coming back?
I feel like he's coming back soon. I feel like he must. We literally, the last time we saw this man was when Green died on stage. So
And he was like, nope, right out of there. Yeah.
I mean, I would nope right out of there too if I'd be like, ha,
Just kidding.
sorry.
That didn't go as planned. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like he's gonna factor in again, hopefully soon, just to kind of inform Lauren about Green's work that she did on the side, and maybe that provides a crucial detail into what happened with her. But yeah, for now, I'm happy with what we are focusing on. But give us.
And right, Kieran is cut off by Lauren, who steps up and she said, as you said, this is bigger than both you and I, or Kim and Will, Tristan, anyone. If we have the means to defeat the Phantom Scythe, and to avoid hundreds of deaths again, we have to keep going. And we're not playing vigilantes anymore. We're working with the chief of police in the right hand directly now. She gives her hand. Kim and Will know. They know the risk, they've seen the danger, and they want to help too. Cowering and hiding is not going to amount to anything. And she's confronting him. She takes off his glasses. And he's shocked. And she says, I'm not afraid of who you are and what it entails. I'm not afraid of you.
When I tell you.
Oh, this panel. I think my jaw just dropped. I screamed. Just.
Oh,
it's everything I ever wanted.
I think it's the same panel as when he shows up in the window, just different. Just like redrawn. He also has that dark coloring. Anyway.
Shows up at the window.
Snazzy, all snazzy the day after the accident, like right after the same afternoon.
Oh.
Huh.
Similar.
Yeah. So
He's got his like goofy little wink.
Yeah.
Oh, you. But no, like, could you just imagine being Kieran though and hearing this? I just, my brain can't even compute. It's been trying to process all week.
No, because her saying this to him specifically hit so hard for me, because he knows this on some level, I believe. I think they both knew this on some level vaguely, but they never really thought about it in those exact terms, especially given everything that happened with like 43 and stuff. Her taking off his glasses, exposing him
for the real him.
Looking him, the real Kieran in the face and saying, I am not afraid of who you are and what it entails. I am not afraid of you. And so firmly, he's not prepared to hear that from her, and to see her do that, be all up in his space and say it just plainly, looking him dead in the eye. He's completely unprepared for it, and it's shaken
the
him.
man went to go break up with her and he got emotional validation for his soul. Like, this is not going the way he planned.
Yeah. And our boy starved for any sort of like love and affection or friendship or anything. Having this happen to him again has him completely shook, but he also craves it on a deeper level. So that's why he's so stunned.
Yeah, amazing. And he gets a little angry now. And he's like, you're a fool not to. And she says, I trust you, Kieran. I'm not backing down.
I love their faces in that.
Oh, it's so good. Like, it's a little dramatic, but in a really good way. Like, if you put all of this in any other, like, you could put this in a K-drama or like a soap opera, it'd be a little dramatic, but it's done really well here.
I mean, he's an assassin and he's hurt her before, and she's forgiven him, but has he forgiven himself for it? Probably not. I don't know if he ever will. So, and then he also, what he's seen, what he's done, and for her to be like, I know, I don't care. He thinks like it is kind of stupid for her to be like, I don't care about this, we're good. And like, especially for him. So him being like, you're a fool not to. That's coming from somewhere deep. And her being like, her meeting it and saying, I am sticking firm to this. I trust you. She's like, you can't run away from the the friendship, the affection.
Aw.
It's like, who has he had that has stuck around like that?
No one.
One. Now we know.
Like that, it's sad. The doctor.
The doctor.
There until the bitter end.
Yeah, bit really.
I would love if the doctor becomes more of a thing, just because this doctor just always coming in clutch, giving him stitches, pulling bullets out of his girlfriend's arm. Like,
He should be the one to marry them at the end. Like, he could totally get his license to marry them. And
he probably knows more about their relationship than any other person outside of the two of them.
like in sickness and in health and in stitches.
And
And in bruises.
the lack of consciousness.
Mhm.
And then she
Now-
grabs his hand.
And she picks it up and smiles at him and says, "We are partners, remember?"
And then this is the panel right there.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, so nice.
this panel. It's so good. It's so good.
More of the holding hands, shaking hands,
You know,
partners.
that's so snowed at the end. Like, how many times can we shake hands, really?
I love holding hands
Yes.
as a theme for them, coming together, equals,
Mm.
sharing a goal, but also now just genuinely enjoying being around each other.
Yeah, and I like how every time they shake hands, it's a different position, basically.
Mhm.
They're like
We need
this.
another parallel of like the OG deal handshake again to make up the we have 3 of those so far, I think, and then when they held
Oh,
hands.
Yeah, one
when it was about to
without
blow
blood,
up.
maybe.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be more of it. I love more. Just give me more of it. That's fine.
I just love how her facial expression looks so soft.
Yeah.
Like, we've gone down so much in her facial expression in the intensity, and then his face. I don't even know how to describe that. It's like, I
Unmoored?
don't know. He's just
I think he's got a lot of thoughts in his head, and he's just trying to think of a way to kind of
Convincing?
get her to pull back a bit. But she's literally like in his space, holding his hand, looking at him so confidently and firmly, and holding his hand so firmly. He's
Can't back
trying to
down.
find a way out, but there is none.
Mhm. Oh, it's awesome. And he's like, I don't want to,
lies.
holding hands, and it's a lie. But then he's like, he tries to pull his hand back, and Lauren restrains him. Just look at their hands intertwined around each other. Oh my gosh. Like, this is,
That's
Oh.
it already.
I know. It's just amazing. And she frowns, and he's like, "Her gift's annoying at times, you know that?" I feel like this is the moment he gave up.
Yeah.
He's just done. It's just like now I'm realizing it's just so interesting because she gets so much up in his personal space. Like, he's trying to retreat from the whole situation emotionally and physically. Like, you saw him leaning against kind of the wall, like arms crossed, like, and then she had to cross the distance of the floor to talk to him. She's the one that grabbed his hand in his arm. She's the one that got in his personal space. Like, he was trying to hold his ground and his distance, and she just went, I'm flat out not having any of it.
Mhm.
Mhm. And then he sees that look in her eyes. He knows how stubborn she is, how she's basically daring him to try and say something to get her to step away, and he can't think of anything because he has nothing that he can really say or do that she'll believe, that she'll acknowledge, that she'll think of as a good enough excuse for him to step away. And I love that he kind of just, oh, your gift's annoying, God. Like, he's kind of admitting that he can't think of anything to get her to stop. And I kind of love that nod to you have it correct, and I have nothing else to do to get you to stop. He's surrendering.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying it. And she storms off and is like, "Great, now that we've taken care of your mopey attitude, time to get back to work." Subordinate.
Ah,
Yes.
that panel.
Nice.
It's the most unLauren like thing I've ever seen, but it's so cute and so fitting, and it's just adorable.
We've seen her be teasing and playful at times, but it's with
different.
him. And she's put his glasses on. She's like subordinate, and just like, Miss
Like,
Lady,
I
do
just love
you
Lauren
know?
this episode. She was like goofy and happy with Kim, and she's like riding the high of doing her detective work and working with March, and like I feel like this is like peak Lauren. This is like the Lauren that we could have if she wasn't so obsessed.
Exactly.
Dylan, you know, like we could have happy, flirty, carefree Lauren
And
on a
imagine-
regular basis.
Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe after the series and like all this stuff gets wrapped up, we can see them with their lives after. I would love that. And hopefully nothing bad happened and she'll be happy and stuff. But you know, can't keep your hopes up with Purple Hyacinth, but she's doing this and she doesn't know. I mean, she kind of knows, but she doesn't know the depth of this boy's feelings. We know. So imagine you're this boy and you realize that you like her, and then she does that with your glasses, looking like
Done.
that.
And she's already worn his shirt.
At this moment,
Now she's wearing his glasses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
her wearing his
she's-
clothes probably has him.
Yeah.
Type
She's,
of way.
she's like also comfortable enough to basically flirt with him a little bit. So that definitely teaches him. That's the one thing. And he looks at her, organizing paper. And she is smiling because she knows she won. And guess what? Kieran is smiling too. And he has the biggest, dopiest.
This panel. Oh my God. This might be my new favorite Kieran panel.
Yes. And he is love struck. Love struck.
Colors. It's just so golden. And did you guys notice it has the sparkles throughout this?
Yes.
entire-
The dust
Yeah.
sparkles.
The dust,
yes.
the magic dust love sparkles were all over every panel in this episode.
He's just looking at her with so much endearment, and it's
Ugh.
like, I love, like you said, he went in there to try and break up with her, but then single thing that she did in this entire episode with him just kind of reinforced why he
Yeah, I
likes
think
her
it was
so
like
much.
one of the top comments. It's like he went to go file for divorce and she ended up renewing their vows.
Yes.
That's very
That's
funny.
like how this went down.
Basically.
His face right there. It's just
Oh. And now I sit with that knowing that bitch is about to blackmail him with her, and all of his reservations and all of his caution that he has is probably correct, because someone's going to see them together and try and use her against him, and it's going to suck and it's going to be the worst and I'm going to hate it.
everything's
also-
been too good lately, so it's got to go downhill at some point. So,
Yeah.
and the next episode is 143.
I know. Oh my gosh. It better be a major episode.
I don't know why, like it would be fun. I would like it to be a major episode because, you know, it's 100 episodes since, and like could be something with the progress, but this episode already had so much. I feel like I get the feeling
I feel
that the
like
next
this
episode
could
is
have been a
gonna
good
be-
143.
Yeah, I don't know. I get the feeling that this episode that we're gonna get tomorrow, next week might not even have anything to do with them, and it might just be something else entirely. I would love if it had stuff to do with them. Obviously, I could never get enough 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, as much as I recognize that
No.
spacing it out is good. My lizard brain appreciates
Yeah,
it.
I
greatly.
feel like the fandom has been making it a big deal. It just depends on if Soph and F feel like they're significant to the.
Watch it be in like the notes at the end of that episode. It's like 100.
No.
I mean, I don't know if they would do that, but it would be interesting to see, because it is a big deal. Like, if look at where we are now. Look at where we started 100 episodes ago, from then to now. What, like,
The progression is
slow burn going
him, all of his self-loathing and hatred, and she's kind of smacking it in the face and being like, no, he's a good person, and he's not.
I kind of want to read 43 and then read this episode.
Oh my god, the whiplash.
The whiplash would be jarring to say the least.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Love it. Awesome. Do we have any final thoughts on the episode as a whole? Oh, well, what's your favorite panel? Actually, sorry for you.
The last one.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all so good.
The last one is really good. I would also like to put up the whole thing where she's taking off his glasses, and then when she says his face when she says that she's not afraid of him and that she trusts him. And then anyone, like when they're side by side, like Mindy, your background.
I know, and I like the one that's your background too, the one where they're partners.
Yeah, just honestly. Also, Lauren's expressions in this one when she's so hurt and angry at him trying to push her away.
So good.
The expression game is so good, and it's only getting better. And I feel like it shows very raw and relatable emotions. So, but yeah, anything with just them two.
I don't know what my favorite panel is. I'm kind of decide.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot. That's why I have so many screenshots on my phone.
Right. For the sake of being different, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot. The one where he says, "I'm not afraid of you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all amazing. Ah, that's wonderful.
I know.
All right.
We got fed, guys. We got fed. The 𝗧𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗍 was served. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what 143 will be, if we even have 𝗧𝗃𝗍. I feel like it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Please be lucky, please.
I know, I'm like, please.
I don't know. The way this episode ended made me feel like they've kind of
Wrapped it up.
put that wrapped up, at least for now. But I would love if it cut to them actually going out and doing some work, and maybe, I don't know, more of this flirty banter, because we've had the banter this whole time. The flirting has been kind of there, like
Ramping.
It's ramping up. It's glorious. It's everything I ever wanted. When these two begin to actually, when Lauren figures out her feelings and like goes for it, I'm going to be a puddle on the floor, screaming, crying, throwing up, because it's been 3 years and I want it so badly. No, wow, actually, I know the exact day that I started Purple Hyacinth, because I took a screenshot to send to my friends, like, I just started, this is amazing, and it was September 30th, which is tomorrow.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Yeah, 3 years anniversary. Yeah, it was 1 a.m. I was supposed to go to bed, and then I saw the banner of them like dancing, and
you're like, I'm sold.
Yeah, I saw Purple Hyacinth. I like purple, and hyacinths are pretty,
like,
and these two are pretty.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I was like, that guy looks hot. Oh, assassin? Yeah, super. Okay.
Yeah, and I read the first 10 episodes in one sitting, because there were only 20 out at the time. So, so good. But yes, I am nothing if not a patient woman. This is not my first slow burn enemies to lovers. I'm willing to wait, because it will be so good when it happens.
Oh my god.
And watch it when it happens, me be like completely unprepared for it, throwing my phone across the room.
I think we're all gonna be unprepared, honestly, when it happens.
Well, we melted.
When they kiss for the first time, I'm gonna be inconsolable in terms of emotions. Like, what?
I can't even. No, it's too far in the future. I can't.
No, yeah, it's not gonna. I don't think it's
3 years from now.
No, my god.
No, I can't. It can't be. There's only going to be one more season.
Yeah, season 4, I think, is the last one. And I think this season is going to be longer.
Yeah, she said it would be. Oh, I don't know if you heard then Chava said someone asked her something about like if it were midway through, and she was like, no, this one's going to, we have like months and months left. So
which I'm happy about.
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
I know, but remember how maybe it's longer, because I know they had to wrap up the factory arc like kind of suddenly or something, and so the end of season 2 is really supposed to be the midpoint of season 2. I remember reading that, right?
I mean, I don't know if it was the midpoint, but it
wasn't supposed to be the finale. It was supposed to be like the middle of.
I don't know if it was the middle, but it was definitely not meant to be the end. I mean, it's a good spot to end, honestly. And like the way that all went down, I think I remember reading that they were going to make season 2 way longer, and then they ended up having to make it. So it makes sense that season 2 kind of lumped into season 3, probably. So it makes sense that season 3 is now going to be longer. I ain't mad. More episodes in one, and like continuously coming out. I'm good with
I
that.
think I calculated it. We have 30-something episodes.
Oh, really? Oh, yay. So well into next year. Sweet.
And so, but if we're roughly 50 episodes a season, I mean, that still is months and months.
I know, but we're
So I'm
apparently
hoping we
getting
get
more than
than
that.
50.
I'm always happy about.
Hope we get more than that.
Yeah, the more the better.
You guys ready to go to bed?
Yes, I cannot keep my eyes open, which is insane. It's 11:30, but-
I was taking a quick nap before this, so I'm a bit awake now, but I
Yeah,
could
I'm
probably
gonna
fall
crash
asleep.
too. It's been a day, but thanks so much, ladies, for letting me join.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad we did this. And
Always down for a lucky episode.
We always
Yeah.
need the crew for the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 episodes.
yeah, in the heart.
MC night.
All right, thanks so much. It was great. Have a
Bye, guys.
Thank you to my current patrons, Susie, Lady Libris, Lily, Molly, Veronica, Emily, Joe Rochelle, Saucy Toggles, Anna Rose, Alexa, Misty, Joanne, Imelda, Esther, Watching You People, Emily, Jean, Jen, Kay, Lily, Beckett, Christine, Sadie, Teresa, Mrs. Castaldo, Nini, and 𝗪𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗏. Your support is truly appreciated.